Man, please share with me. Tell me a little bit about the Juilliard experience.
Well, it's uh, it's about as intense as you could possibly imagine,
Hmm.
but all positive stresses. So
Mm,
like straight like right away from the audition process, I went there for jazz, and
hmm.
yeah, the I was notified about a week and a half, 2 weeks before the audition,
Hmm.
that it was taking place, and they send you a list of all things to prepare, and then you get there for the audition, and you're in the center of middle of New York City, right in Lincoln Center, and you walk in, and all of your idols that you've been paying attention to and listening to
Yeah.
and transcribing, and you're just learning how to play the music. They're sitting there staring at you, and it's early in the morning with their coffee, and they're like, "All right, you better not,
Yeah.
better bring it." And it's yeah, it's it made me step up my level of where I thought I should be, and
Mm,
uh, just raised my bar a lot. Just like the my teacher there was is the most recorded jazz bassist in history, Ron Carter, and he he said something to me in like my second or third lesson. It's like, John, do you want to be a professional, or do you want to be a hobbyist? And I was like, wow, I thought I had like a professional mindset my entire time until I'd been there. And like, he's up at like 5 a.m. every day,
mm.
and he's practicing still. It's like, and I just, so it's that's what motivates me, is to surround myself with people that have like a higher standard, and
Mm,
I want to raise myself, bring myself to their level, and then
mm.
keep raising. It's just because it's never you never like I like the jazz, and also the BJJ, and anything improvising, anything like in that similarities, they they it's a lifelong goal. There's no
Yeah.
like pinnacle. You never reach the top. You're just
Right.
continually climbing.
Right.
And
Right.
that's the best part about it, is that,
Yeah.
and you see like the masters in their 90s, or playing jazz like that, they sound, just the experience, or like a martial
Hmm.
arts master who's just like, sure, he's not physically a 20-year-old, but
Hmm.
he could, submit you with his mind. You know what I mean? Like,
Sure.
so,
Sure. Sure.
so
Yeah. Sure.
that was
So,
the musical
yeah.
experience. Oh, go ahead. But traveling, I got to go I got to go to Costa Rica twice. I got to go to
Mm,
Guatemala, El Salvador,
hmm.
Australia,
Hmm.
China,
Hmm.
like all these places just with music. That was through Juilliard, and not to mention, like, they took care of all the costs. So it's just like,
Yeah. Amazing.
it
Got
was
to
it
see
was
the
I
world.
I got to see the world. So I mean, I feel very fortunate,
Hmm.
and I grew significantly personally and musically there,
Mm,
and I wouldn't take away those experiences. I just
hmm.
like, they've really, yeah, they've changed me so in such a
Yeah.
great way. So
Wow.
especially
That's awesome.
world travel, and seeing how international music is, just,
Yeah.
it really is it's internet, everyone speaks music,
For sure, for
so
sure. It's
yeah.
really, you said something really interesting and you really hit the nail on the head. You kind of talked about leveling up. You said that you
Yeah.
kind of maybe learned a new work ethic there. You know,
Hmm.
I guess that transcends all the different styles of music. Just Juilliard is just so intense. Like everybody is just that. I guess the bar. I guess everybody's so talented, right? So
Yeah. Oh
you
well,
can't
the
phone it
bar.
in, right?
No, you can't phone it in, and people spot it immediately. And everyone has different natural levels of talent, but
Sure.
it's like something, that I think you've talked about. I think Brandon, you talking about, it's like the work ethic.
Hmm.
It's like work ethic is, everyone there has that.
Yeah.
It's like they're, and if they don't, they have. They do. Everyone does have has that.
Sure.
It's just
Sure.
they have it. They have it.
Yeah.
It's, but everyone has a different way of doing that. Like, some people, they stay up all night, working that all
Hmm.
out, and but then some
Hmm.
people are up at 5 a.m. doing,
Yeah.
but you're surrounded by people that
Hmm.
get what you're trying to do,
Exactly.
and they don't like, oh, like you're going to spend 10 hours in the practice room today. What?
Right. Right. No, for sure.
So,
You know, it
yeah,
takes to it's really it's inspiring in a lot of ways, but like you actually hit a parallel there between music and sports, and I love it because to be a one percenter, to be super talented, and not that I'm speaking as if I'm any of those things, but I'm going to put you in that bracket. And
well,
and those people that are successful have work ethic. You know, those are people that never give up and all, but they also have the ability to be obsessive and to lock
it's
themselves in a
true.
room. And you need a really strong support system to understand that. Otherwise, people are like, "Who is this crazy person spending 10 hours doing anything?" You
That's
know.
true.
And I can understand that. Again, I can definitely I've had those moments in my life and sort of things with my passions. So I can definitely understand that. So it must have been kind of neat. Let me ask you this: did you find maybe in a way maybe a difference from? Did you find like your own people at Juilliard, like you were amongst your own people in a way?
I would say that yes. I feel like after I left high school, my high school experience was great, but when I left high school and went to college, I started to surround myself. I started to find myself like, oh, there's my people. Oh, there's more people like
Yeah,
me.
I
But
understand.
when I, you know, and when you hit the, and I was doing that in Chicago as well. I lived in Chicago prior to moving to New York, and I started to find my little group of musicians here. But when I got
Mm-hmm.
to Juilliard, it was like, it was the first time I had just kind of like gone into a different world, and you can just kind
Mm-hmm.
of hide out inside that building
Mm-hmm.
around people. And then you leave there and you go to the jazz clubs in New York, and you're
Mm-hmm.
surrounded by a bunch of other people that are out of the schools now, or they never were in school, but they're all just as serious and hungry for the music. And the clubs are open till 4 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just like, you know, you're surrounded by it and you're in your little bubble. And
Immersion.
yeah, it's amazing. The
Mm-hmm.
amount of like growth that can happen so quickly is phenomenal. But I do feel on the same token, there are sacrifices that are made in your personal life when you go that far into that realm that
Sure.
eventually are, you know, you know, like you have to, I feel like the masters of any craft are able to balance those as, you know,
Yeah,
like they're able
sure.
to practice and then get all their stuff together. But then they also are, you know, like my teacher was a great example. Ron, he's a family man, and
Mm-hmm.
he's, you know, he's dedicated to teaching, but
Mm-hmm.
also dedicated to performing and
Mm-hmm.
running his own bands and making
Mm-hmm.
sure that, you know, and he's a businessman. I mean, he's just,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's not just one thing, you know.
Right.
So it's, you know, that was the other thing is like, it's not just a music world at Juilliard. Even though you are practicing all the time, it's like
Interesting.
you're still like, okay, well, or how many, okay, you're recording a record. Are any of your tunes on the record? Because that CD is going to get sold again, or that, you know, somebody else is going to buy it. Are you going to keep making money off of that record, or are you just going to
Mm-hmm.
make the money for this recording session? It's like these little itty bitty things you never think about, but
Sure.
that's the beauty of being around. I think the elders,
Yeah,
as you
professional
learn to,
musicians learn the
mhm,
business. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. You know, you
but
spoke about